What if I told you one of the most futuristic materials we have is actually thousands of years old? Today, we're going to talk about a plant with a really complicated past that might just be the key to a much more sustainable future. So just think about this for a second. What if the answer to some of our biggest environmental problems isn't some brand new sci-fi invention, but an ancient plant that's been hiding in plain sight, totally misunderstood for decades? That's the story we're digging into right now.
So you might be wondering, why all the fuss about this old plant all of a sudden? Well, it all kicks off with a massive, and I mean massive, deadline that's staring down one of the world's biggest industries.
Okay, the clock is ticking, and it's ticking fast. The big date to circle on your calendar is 2026. That's when the EU's Green Deal rules really kick in. And we're not talking about a friendly suggestion here. This is a huge regulatory earthquake that's forcing the entire textile industry to find natural, sustainable fibers. The race for alternatives is definitely on.
For everybody in the textile world, the message couldn't be clearer. The days of treating sustainability like some kind of optional extra, a nice-to-have, are over. It is now a flat-out necessity, an absolute requirement. And that pressure is forcing everyone to seriously rethink the materials they've been using for years.
All right, so we've got this urgent problem. And now let's introduce our potential hero, a plant that's been waiting on the sidelines for its big comeback moment. And that plant is hemp.
First things first, let's get one thing perfectly straight. The hemp we're talking about is industrial hemp. It's a specific type of the cannabis sativa plant, but it is not a drug. It has no psychoactive properties. It's better to think of it as the super useful, hard-working cousin in the family. A truly amazing and eco-friendly natural resource.
And this is where hemp starts to feel like a cheat code for sustainability. Seriously, it barely needs any water to grow. It actually makes the soil it grows in healthier. While it's growing, it's just sucking up huge amounts of CO2 out of the air. And to top it all off, the products made from it are biodegradable. It is a true environmental powerhouse.
And for the textile industry in particular, the benefits are just incredible. Hemp fibers are famous for being super durable and long-lasting. They naturally protect you from UV rays, they're recyclable, and they even have antibacterial properties. So what this means is you're not making a compromise. You get sustainability and amazing performance, all in one package.
But hold on, because the story is so much bigger than just clothing. In fact, that's just scratching the surface. The thing that is truly staggering about hemp is that you can use pretty much every single part of the plant for something useful.
I mean, just think about it. The car industry, it uses hemp fibers to make lightweight and strong interior panels. In construction, you've got this stuff called hempcrete, which is an amazing building material. It can be turned into sustainable paper, food, cosmetics, super strong composites. It's like a Swiss Army knife in plant form.
So we've talked about how strong hemp is. But I've got a story for you from a textile exporter that gives you a real-world, visceral idea of just how ridiculously tough this plant actually is.
The story comes from a guy named Muzafer Turgut Kayhan. So back in the mid-2000s, he was farming in Romania, on this land where, for decades, they'd grown hemp for military and industrial use. His job was simply to clear out these old, overgrown fields. Sounded simple enough. But he was about to get a serious lesson in resilience.
Get this? The plant's roots were so tough, he said they broke 2 combine harvesters just trying to pull them out of the ground. Okay, plan B. Just burn the fields. Well, that didn't work either. I mean, it's one thing to read that a fiber is strong. It is a completely different thing to hear that it can literally defeat heavy machinery and fire.
So what does all this mean for us, for the future? How do we take this incredibly tough, versatile, and eco-friendly plant and actually use it to build something better? It's all about fitting it into a smarter system.
This is where hemp is just a perfect poster child for the circular economy. You grow it, and it pulls CO2 from the air. You process it, and pretty much every part gets used for something. You create a whole range of products, and then, at the end of their life, those products just biodegrade and go right back to the earth. It's a beautiful, closed-loop system where almost nothing is wasted.
Now look, it's not all a walk in the park. That same legendary toughness we just talked about, well, it makes processing the fiber into yarn pretty difficult and pretty expensive. So yes, there are real challenges, and it's going to take real investment.
But that's the trade-off. The opportunity on the other side is just immense. We're talking about the chance to build a truly sustainable economic model across a whole bunch of different industries, all powered by this one amazing plant.
So this is where we're left. A modern world staring down a huge green deadline, and an ancient plant that's strong, versatile, and incredibly sustainable. It really leaves you with a powerful question, doesn't it? Could this forgotten plant really be the key to building a cleaner, more resilient future for all of us?